everybody, and welcome to the Wealthy Lala show with myself, Laurie Laursen. Today is episode 174. No, yes, 170. Oh my gosh, I got myself so confused. 179. Yes. I went and I put on the calendar the numbers at the bottom of the date box instead of the top. And so, of course, I was thinking it was for the one below, but it's not. So, welcome to episode 179. That means I've done 79 episodes. How does it get any better? Well, today was a bit easy to figure out something on what I was going to talk about. Sometimes I wonder when I do 5 of these a week if I'm going to have things to talk about, and the universe always delivers. Um, I'm not sure how exactly I'd want to start this. Well, I was invited today to go and trade. So, if you guys have ever heard of doing things like body work or access consciousness bars or massages or anything like that, okay, now you can get together and trade with people. So, it's one way to connect with like minded people, receive body work, say without paying for it, right? So, you each gift and receive to each other. And so I was asked by a lovely woman if I was available today. And I thought, wow, how's it get any better? I have a doctor's appointment about 20 minutes, like this morning. I have a doctor's appointment about 20 minutes from where she lives, and she lives further away from me. So I mean, I'm like 3/4 of the way there, right? So I'm like, whoa, well, that should work just fine. Well, then when I asked, and I've talked about this before, the light and heavy, so I ask, truth, if I choose this, will this, generate um, greater for my life, living reality and body now and in the future, or just truth, does this create greater? And it was heavy. So as I've shared before, when something is light, it's true for me. When it's heavy, it's a lie. And that means it's not true. So don't choose it. Well, I was like, it's heavy. It's heavy. I don't have anything planned after my doctor's appointment. So, okay. But you see, I'm learning more and more. We actually live in an energetic reality. And this was something that was really difficult for me to grasp at first. Our reality has done a really good job of, that things, if you can't see it, you don't believe it. And so this energy intuition thing, even though people still do, it still has people's curiosity. A lot of people don't like to say that they live by their intuition, right? That would still be too weird. So anyways, I get that too still in my world. So when it was heavy, I was like, really? Ah. Now it's funny because what I did then is I reached out to a friend, didn't tell them the situation, just made a letter, A and a letter F, and A meant to go and F meant to not go. And so I just said to the person, what do you get that creates more? And they got to not go. And I was like, damn. Well, what I learned about me with this is that I actually learned a couple of things. Number one, I learned that when I say no to somebody, especially if it's, say, someone that I would judge as nice, um, I must be like, I have to explain myself. Or like that was one thing that really came up, is that I have to explain myself. Well, with the energy, you can't explain yourself. You don't know. Okay. So, anyways, it was heavy. So I kind of, in my world, I just said, okay, well, what do I need to say that creates greater? I did still feel like I needed to explain myself. I didn't even think about sharing. Well, it's heavy, girls, for me, whatever that's about. I've got to trust it. Bah. I didn't even think about going there. So I just said, hey, I've got a doctor's appointment and then I need to be home in the afternoon. So it's just not going to work for me, but thank you so much for considering me. Well, um I was driving to the doctor's appointment this morning, and when I got up, I didn't feel like eating. And that's not usually normal for me. Usually I'll have, if anything, even just a piece of toast, right? It's like, didn't want anything. So I just had a coffee, got to the doctor's appointment, and I thought, my stomach doesn't quite feel right. So ended up, going to the washroom, had some symptoms of my stomach not feeling quite right. I I will spare you the details. And then again, before I left the doctor's office, the same thing again. I was like, okay, isn't this interesting? So all I could think about at that point was, oh my God, I can hardly wait to get home. Now I had about 45, 50-minute drive home. So I get in the vehicle, and my daughter-in-law messages me and said, hey, would you want to come over and watch the boys? I was thinking of getting some painting done. And I said, you know what? I got to go home and have a nap. Let me see how I feel afterwards. And I'll let you know. And I thought, oh, okay, well, that's probably too why I didn't exchange, because there was something that I was required there. Well, anyways, I got home, had a nap, woke up, I felt worse, basically sat on the couch the entire rest of the day. And like even now, my stomach's still not, like 100%. Well, it's not even close to 100%. um, but I realize that I have been choosing a lot lately. And what I mean by choosing is I've been really looking at some things that have been things I've wanted to change about myself, like either, where I feel that I'm still judging someone, or I feel like I'm still having someone in my life bother me too much. Like I give my power away to them. And I've been really looking at this, and it's been so cool because the universe has just been gifting me with the odd, like either Dr. Joe Dispenza video, or else I'll pull an oracle card, or I I discovered this guy the other day. I think I talked about him on one of the other shows, this Paul McKenna, who does this havening method. Yeah, I did on yesterday's show. Yes, the day before, yesterday, whatever day. And yeah, on yesterday's show. And I realized that I've been like, I changed something with that, where something that I just couldn't deal with before. And I really wish, like, I mean, God, seriously, guys, haven't you guys ever wished someone in your life would just die or just disappear? Like, wouldn't that just sometimes be awesome? Yes. And what I've discovered is that the true freedom comes when you can be in the presence of anyone and still be you, or when I can be in the presence of anyone and still be me. I tell you, like, there is such incredible freedom in that. And I know that now because I've experienced it. I've created it for myself. So I'm not going to lie, when there's still situations that are more challenging for me, I still might have a very steel-handed grip on trying to hold on to old ways of being that I know that still aren't even serving me. But I will still, little by little, step by step, choice by choice, ask and choose and create something different. So this past week, I chose a lot, and I'm actually aware that my body just kind of went, whoa, okay, let's just let this clear out. So it's like energetically what I was clearing out, I'm now physically clearing out, and it's not wrong. It's totally okay. My body is just letting go of what no longer serves me. So I know my body is not quote unquote sick. My body, it's actually just change. And if you guys have ever heard of something like that, like you can actually ask your body. So that's what I did, is I was like, okay, truth body. And I'd also started on these little homeopathic tablets. And I've talked in previous shows how I didn't actually feel safe in this world. that I felt that there was such a wrongness of me being here. And another thing I started doing was I went looking for some homeopathic remedies that would assist me in shifting my body to letting go of what no longer is serving me. So I've been taking the homeopathic, I've been doing some clearings, I've been doing some just stuff with awareness, my meditations and everything. And my body just went, whoa, baby, this was a big one. We just gotta just let us catch up. so so I actually asked my body, so truth body, is this because of the homeopathics? And it actually said no, and more in the sense that it's not creating a problem. Um, and when I asked truth, is it change? And I got that as really light. And so I asked my buddy, so truth, are you sick? And it was like, no. So, it's just really kind of interesting because I wonder how many times in our lives, like we've just, we'll get a sniffle, we get, a bit of the runs, or we'll, just something, and we'll be like, oh my God, I'm sick. And we'll tell our bodies that we're sick, but we didn't actually ask a question. Body, is this just change? If you look back at, say, did something really stressful just happen at work this week? Did you have something created in your life with a relationship or something that was, emotionally taxing or changing? Did you have something that you chose that was something you've never chosen before, that you were so incredibly proud of yourself for? And what if you choosing that created such a change chemically in your body that your body has to adjust to it and catch up? And so that's what I really noticed for me, is that's actually what this was. And so the couple times I've asked, because sometimes I still got to ask myself a couple times, just, as I'm growing this muscle of trust. And I was like, yeah, that's what it is. It's change. It's like, okay, body, well, do what you need to do. I'm not going to make it significant. I'm just, and what I did too was I just went into gratitude, and I remind myself, like, I am not having to show up at a workplace today. I am not having to be anywhere. I don't have any expectations on me. So I have all this freedom to be able to just take care of me. And so that's what I'm doing. And so anyways, like, if you guys have ever, I would, if you've got something that's coming up in your life, and you're not sure, like, truth, should we choose it, or truth not? And your typical response is, well, of course I'll choose it because of XYZ. It's a family thing. You always go to family things, or you go for drinks with everybody after work on a Friday night. And it's like, but does it actually create greater? Does it actually create greater? Because how many times have you maybe then, say, gone to a family function, you didn't know to ask the question, did this actually create greater? Had you known to ask, you would have maybe got a no, and then you wouldn't have chose it. But instead you did choose it, and then you go there and you end up arguing with someone, or something you get an offender bender on the way there, or you end up catching a cold because your body wanted you to just rest that night, or something like that. And not to make yourself feel bad or whatever, because everything is just information. You ask questions, and we get awarenesses, and we choose them, or we're not, are not, and we get more information. So it's just more information. It's not actually right or wrong. It's just more information. And so it actually wouldn't have been wrong if I still would have chose it today. If I would have chose to go meet with the ladies and do an exchange, I wouldn't have lasted very long. I probably would have got there and turned around and then had a longer drive home, which would have sucked, but that would have just even been more awareness. And yeah. So, and I actually even had to reach out to them afterwards, and I expressed to them, I said, girls, I just got to let you know, when I thought I was actually judging this situation, I actually wasn't. I was aware, but I'm so still not 100% used to trusting my awareness and having it not mean anything about the other people, because I was also taught to be a very nice person. Someone asks you to do something, you go. If you can do it, you go. well, what if it actually doesn't create greater? What if even the other women, maybe the husband had to come home, or one of the kids that she has got sick at school or at the daycare and had to come home, or whatever. Like, it doesn't even have to do anything with me, although this time it did, but it could have to do with an awareness of something that the universe knows that's coming. So, oh my gosh, you guys, like, playing with this light and heavy is really been such a game changer for me, and I'm still growing my muscle of it. So, how does it get any better? So if you actually would like to learn how to grow that muscle for yourself, I do sessions, half hour, love to play and work with other people and assist them in, contributing to what creates greater for you in your life. And if you ever want to contact me, thewealthylala@gmail.com. So big hugs to you. Thanks again for listening, and I'm so incredibly grateful. Have a great rest of your day.